Oh,
Welcome
damn.
to the Barbell Strikes Back. I'm James McDermott, joined by Miguel Porter and Mike Mickery. And today we are going to talk all about yesterday's Shatter Slam CrossFit competition that members of our gym, Mike, and wow, can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
They just went past the apartment. Yeah,
What is that?
it's like four military helicopters.
I can't believe how close to the building it is. That is crazy. Like literally,
They're
my
pretty
whole
low.
desk was just shaking now. That's intense. Wow. All right, a giant military helicopter or something just flew overhead. So that's our signal that we're not supposed to talk about the results for Shatter Slam. So
Right.
we'll
Yeah.
change topics. No, I'm kidding. So we had Mike and Miguel, Team M&M, and then we had Chris and Schaff, Team Weenie Saurus. Schaff and Chris can't make it to the call today, but we'll talk still all about the event. Guys, how you feeling?
My
Pretty
lower back's
sore.
not sore, but yeah, I feel fine.
So pretty sore,
Not
fine.
total.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, maybe this will be a different conversation tomorrow on Monday morning. Maybe it's the 48 hours Dom's effect on how, especially from those lunges. Although it was only 40 lunges. How much damage can 40 lunges cause? Really?
No, I think everything from event one is. We'll go over it, but yeah, everything from event one is just fine. I think it's everything later.
Yeah,
later
event
stuff.
one wasn't like that bad for your body. I feel like
No.
unless you fell in the damn press.
Had they made you do multiple rounds and reps, that maybe could have changed a little bit. But event number one, it was 4-time 50-calorie row, 40 single arm overhead lunges using 44 pounds for guys, a 280-meter partner run with a loaded barbell, 115 for you guys in the intermediate division, and then another 40 overhead lunges and then 50-calorie rows to finish. And you were allowed to split that up any way you want, right?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh no.
So it was essentially 2 individual workouts.
Mm-hmm.
So each partner had to do 50 calories on the rower and 40 overhead lunges.
Okay.
And I'm pretty certain that you had to do the same one that did the calories has to do the lunges in the same section of the workout.
Okay, so the barbell carry separates teammates.
Yeah.
One person has to do the first half, the second person does the second half. Of course, as competitors, you don't want to have to do a lot of extra stuff, like, hey, let's not add this in, let's not do that. It's fine the way it is. But looking at it back, do you think that there could have been another use for the barbell? Was it kind of weird just having a barbell carry down and back in the middle of the workout? Did it really affect things too much, or could there have been something else there? What do you think?
The way that I thought about it was that you had to make this a partner event. Again, I think with the way that it's broken out, it is an event for 2 individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to standardize it. So, other than having a second kettlebell out there and just saying each partner carry a kettlebell, you need a standardized weight in both people involved to just have it to separate the 2 individual events. I think easiest way to do that is with the barbell carry. But yeah, I'm sure that another implement could have been used, something else. But yeah, I think that's the best way to figure that.
Yeah, maybe the only other way you could have done different is okay, take the kettlebell with you. So Mike has to carry the barbell on his back. You've got to carry the kettlebell any way you want. Then you switch when you get down there. Now you're in charge of the kettlebell. You're in charge of the barbell. Because the way it was set up, you could just have Mike carry the bar if he wanted on his back, and then you could just touch it and essentially do nothing with it. Which you guys didn't do that. You carried it kind of pole style, one end on your shoulder, the other end on Mike's shoulder.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have had better success carrying it a different way? Do you think it would have benefited your team at all to just like front load it on one person, or was that carry
No.
the best for you guys?
I think overall recap of the event, and even talking to you got there after, but watching Lou and Riley do it, I don't think there's not much of a way to make up time on that event other than just being I won't do it this way, a more efficient rower,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I don't think that we are at that level. I know I think last week we were talking about the CrossFit Games and how rowing isn't that big of a deal when everyone gets on the rower at the same time. Like they're not going to beat each other on the rower really. But in events like this, there is such a big difference in like strength and size that I think time can really be bought on the rower. Yeah, I mean, you can go faster on I guess if we wanted to do like Mike put it on his back and I just touched, then maybe we could have gone a little bit faster, but I don't think it would have like bought us really any spots overall. So again, I think it was just like unless you make a mistake. Like I saw some people go down and then drop the barbell, and with that wet grass and everything, I think maybe that's a mistake. But other than that, I don't think that too many people are winning or losing that event on the barbell carry at all.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that workout, you don't put down the barbell. You should totally hold on to it the whole time. And if you do, it's just going to cost you a lot of time. And I guess for you guys, it wouldn't have made sense just to put the bar on Mike's back because Mike's going to be your anchor. If anything, you'd put it on your back that way because you front loaded the workout and you're already smoked. So you might as well just put it on your back, run down and back, and Mike's just touching it. And you're only going to do that to get Mike on the kettlebell faster. Because if he just has to take a hand off instead of like throwing it down, he's already on the kettlebell. And you're just trying to keep him a little bit fresher to go harder on the kettlebell and the row.
Yeah.
That's the only benefit I can see.
I went slow enough that he didn't have to use any energy on that barbell carry. So
it was like a nice little warm up, pretty much.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what it was. Yeah,
just a warm up.
Down and back. Yeah,
it was Mike got on the rower, and I think the guy in the lane next to him had 10 calories left, right? And Mike shot up to 25 calories, which is like it's just. I don't know. Were you rowing at 1600 at one point?
Yeah, I've never been up there before. It was pretty. Yeah, I think it was like 16 something. Yeah.
Yeah, there were definitely some numbers after that 16. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you row that hard before. And now we know you can row that hard. You can hold it back.
No, it was different. That was just the rower. Something was weird with the rower. I don't know.
We had a faulty rower. It's because it's on the grass and it's like a little wobbly or something.
I don't know. Those lunges were rough too, because like the ground was uneven. It was a little weird.
Yeah.
I think you both did reverse lunges, right? And
I don't remember.
They said you could do either one.
Yeah, you did.
I think I did like the first one I did was forward, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. And I did the reverse. I think that's what I did.
I do feel like, I mean, like we talked about it yesterday with like pros and cons for both. But uneven surface, slippery and everything, and just making sure your footing is more sure, I think that also lends itself to the reverse lunge a little bit more.
Yep.
And you can also shorten. It's easier to shorten up your reverse lunge versus a forward lunge. You take that shorter step and you're like, my knee. But if you take a really short reverse lunge, you can just load your hip better on the way down, and it takes that pressure off your knee. How did this go compared to when you guys practiced it?
We didn't practice this one.
Okay, you didn't practice this one. All right.
And I wasn't going to.
Because this was not the favorite. This was not the favorite.
No.
Again, it's an individual workout. And I make it very clear that me and machines are not I'm not doing it, you know? And I was thinking about this overall, and I wouldn't say I put 100% into it, but also imagine if I did, it would not have made a difference.
I
Couple
mean, it
placement
would have
points.
a little bit, a little bit.
No, I mean, think about it. We got, okay, so for everyone listening, we got 16th place on this workout, right?
Yeah.
If I put 100% into it, we maybe get 13th at best. And I don't think that's worth it. I don't think it makes enough of a difference for me to do that. Because again, I was, not to say I wasn't completely just going casual on the rower. Like I was trying to hold above a certain amount. And for me, like 50 calories is a good amount. And I was already not doing well with those lunges. But I mean, with the way that everyone else was moving, there wasn't much that I could do to really jump people, I don't think. Again, yeah, maybe I could have bought a few more, like maybe combined, I think maybe I could have made that 30 to 45 seconds quicker for Mike. But again, I don't think that was our big thing in that workout.
I feel
Maybe
like
we
if
jumped
you
Shoff and
know
Chris, but that's it.
if you know Mike's gonna like do something crazy, like go unbroken on the lunges after, and like he's really gonna like tee off on it, then I could see maybe you putting a little bit more in, and like those spots maybe help you guys break into the top 10 overall at the end. Because you were just right outside of it. At 11.
Yeah.
So but you're not going to win. You're not on the podium at top 10. It's just that would just be for you guys. Like, hey, all right, we cracked the top 10. But that's the only, like, because you want to set up your anchor to be able to just really do something. And Mike was anchoring the workout, so I could see but if he's not going to go unbroken and do some crazy stuff on the lunge and then do his hard rowing, then I don't see. I agree with you. I don't see why it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, again, it would have been a different view if we didn't end up second to last. Like if we were in the middle of the pack, I probably would have been like, man, I probably could have pushed a little bit more. But seeing where we ended up and then seeing where Chris and Shoff ended up, I knew like, oh yeah, this wasn't an event for us. And I knew it wasn't. And that made it clear. And I think our spots for the remaining workouts also reinforced that, where it was like, yeah, that's just not our jam. When we get to events that are closer to that, we'll end up where we should be.
Yeah. And I mean, that workout definitely is really good for bigger people. Not that Shoff and Chris are that much bigger, but they are larger guys than you are, height and weight wise. And it's like they don't have to row as hard as Miguel has to almost equal the same thing. And then if they do put a little bit extra effort into it, they're just gonna just coast right by, extra couple calories that much faster. And then the lunge feels different, and even the carry, it's just with 115, that's different. And did you guys notice any difficulty in the carry with the height difference between the two of you?
No, actually.
Okay.
Mm-mm. We really needed like a gymnastics movement in there somewhere. That would have been, and we would have been fine.
Right.
Yeah, like something that's what I'm saying. Like, all right, you got to take the bar down the field, do stuff with it together, then bring it back. So like make you put it down and have to do something, But again, it's wet, it's slippery. Like, do you want people doing snatches down there and burpees over the bar? And we already are going to use burpees over the bar later. I don't know if maybe moving the burpees to here would help. Because I don't know. The only other gymnastics thing I could think of is you make people handstand walk that field too, or bear crawl it.
Yeah.
Or one person carries, the other person bear crawls, and then you do the reverse back. But then you got to worry about like, all right, is anyone going to drop a barbell on their partner because they're bear crawling in the wrong
Yeah.
spot?
And just like standards of like what counts as this and that. I think you even change that workout a little bit more in our favor if the lunges turn into swings. If you
Yeah,
go
that's true.
even like a 53-pound kettlebell and do swings, Russian or American, I think at that point I can hang on a little bit longer. And then it's just efficiency in a movement. Like
Yeah.
you can strength the overhead lunge. Like some of those guys were huge. And you can just strength that. And then you can also just strength the row. Again, talking to Lou, their team shot out of a cannon and he got to the rower, I think, in first. But the guy that beat him, Nolan, is, if you've seen Nolan, is huge. Like he was just not. I think they got second because they got passed by I think like 3 calories. But when the guy's a little bit taller than you, probably is 60 more pounds than you are, that's just what's going to happen. But yeah, I think instead of lunges, if you make that American swings, I think maybe we climb a couple more spaces, but you got 2 movements that are like bigger is better.
Yeah. Do you think that I imagine it was probably in the conversation. Just having been a part of these meetings when you're making workouts for an event and it's all laid out on the board. And now since we've been through it, we know what the layout is. That's like a totally a conversation where it's like, let's say if that was our event, we're like, hey, all right, why don't we switch this to American swings? And then someone's like, but we're using the American swing for scaling for pull-ups later on.
Right.
So do we want them to do it twice, or are we going to have to switch that now? All right. Oh crap. All right. Well, let's do ring rows that like that. This is how it just always like happens. And then with the swings, now it's like very redundant to the row. So it's like you're gonna row, pull,
Another
grip, hinge,
Mm.
pull, grip, hinge. You know, maybe like a shoulder to overhead would work. Like like maybe just get rid of the kettlebells, do dumbbells. But now you need all these dumbbells too. You know,
Yeah.
you could do one. And we are going to go overhead later a lot too. Maybe would you lunge that bar across the field? Like if you're going to change
Absolutely not.
the kettlebell movement, would you lunge it down and back?
That would have been.
I
would have liked that
think
better.
again, I think again that's when you get into danger because with again we talked about like the field being a little bit wet. I think lunging across grass is just never. Turf is one thing, grass is a whole other thing. Of like, it's too. Now you have to care about is each lane really even? Or is there any divots? Let's make sure that when we measure, every lane is directly. You might have to even create lanes because you need to like really be sure.
Yeah, you would have to.
With the carry, they're kind of like, we don't care.
Yeah,
just go until your judge tells you to turn around, and then you're good. But yeah, lunges is something completely different.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have minded that though.
The only thing that I think like would work and keep it like, I guess you could hit the handstand walk for the RX, but then again, we're in the same problem, you know? So it's like bear crawl for all is like easier, where it's like, it doesn't matter if it's uneven, etc. You just crawl on all fours, make it high butt. So just hips above the shoulders. Yeah,
again,
but it's like,
football, people bear crawl so differently because there's you can almost trot if you're bear crawling. You can,
it wouldn't be a walk, you know.
Then it's essentially like some people are just bent over and running. You know, it's harder to judge. I honestly just take this event as like, yeah, it was a loss, and maybe my mindset going into it wasn't the best, but also
it wasn't.
I'm very clear though about like I know what I'm about, and it's not that.
You know, maybe it was two individualized workouts connected by the barbell carry like you said, maybe it's just, hey, you're out treading alone in open water, and the sharks are looming. Maybe that was like the meta take on it. For including, because there's a big Jaws shark theme to the event.
Yeah.
And this one was called "The Beach is Closed." So if you think to the movie, right in the beginning, the girl goes out and she's treading water and swimming at night by herself. And her partner, her boyfriend, or just the guy for that that was there, passes out on the beach and he doesn't go in the water. And so that's how the movie starts. So I don't know. Maybe was the creative premise behind it.
Perhaps.
Maybe that makes sense. That makes a little sense, I guess. Yeah,
that makes me feel better about it. Yeah, that's nice. The movie Jaws coming back to the theaters here at the end of the month. So, and that was a big inspiration for the event. And my write up for Instagram. Oh my gosh, so many shark puns in the final write up. So I'm excited about it. Yeah, you gotta have to. All right. So event 1, lunging, rowing, barbell carry. Got done with it. Big break, biggest break of the day between it. How did we're just hanging out in the parking lot, drinking, some of you guys eating snacks. How did you feel that break affected you going into event 2? Was it too long of a break? Just enough to recover? Just a lot of downtime? What do you think?
No, I thought it was pretty good, actually. I feel like I need a little more time after something like that, especially going into like the heavy lifting portion. So I feel like it was a decent amount of time.
Almost more time to wake up too, right? Like you get done with that first event and be like, wait a minute, did we even? What the day hasn't even really started going yet.
Maybe it was like a little too long because I was starting to get tired toward the end, like when we were first about to start. But I don't know. I feel like it was good.
Yeah, I would say overall for the day, there was no recovery. I'll be completely honest. Like immediately, my quads were fired. And I mean, I did do barbell club the day before, but yeah, there was no recovery for me throughout the day. Like I was using my Theragun, kind of just taking it easy, trying to relax as much as possible. But I think the gap in between events was a good amount of time. One for them to run everything efficiently, and also for us as athletes to kind of, it gives you enough time to drop the heart rate, kind of relax a little bit, and then get ready to ramp up. But yeah, I think it was a decent amount of time. It made sense. Yeah, you had to get that first event out of the way early before it got too hot. I'm sure that they had to, sign off on timing to be at the field before getting back. And I think for a spectator standpoint as well, like skip the first event, come back to the gym for the second event and third event. I think it worked out well. I definitely needed to just like relax a bit after the first one and kind of wake up, because it was an early wake up, get there at 7-ish to check in and then head over to the field. So I think it was an inappropriate amount of time.
It's already a long day by the time the event even starts. Like you just said, I don't know what time you guys woke up, but many people could have woken up 6 a.m. or earlier if they had to travel in for the day, check in at 7 a.m. or during 7, then also get over there to the field, because check-in's at the gym, then you have to drive down to the field, which is about half a mile away. I think a lot of people walked over as well, and then after the event, they had to find a way back. So, a lot going on, but at least you were able to just chill, relax, continue to wake up, so to say, and then that would be a great time to have like a more substantial meal. I don't know about eating throughout the day, but if you were going to have like a meal, it would have been probably then, because then you're just going to go into shorter, heavy lifting and then snacks throughout the day. Did you guys really plan out your nutrition for this, or is it just kind of by feel?
I ate the most after the first event, and then I just had like gummy bears for the rest of the day. That's pretty much what I did.
Perfect.
Yeah, similar here. I packed things. Honestly, more in a communal sense of like there's going to be a good amount of us here, so because I know myself and I know that I typically don't eat when competing, which I know is like contrary to like what a lot of people would say, but it's really an appetite thing. I was able to eat my PB&J in between event 1 and 2, but other than that, there really wasn't any like food going in, which I had anticipated for sure. So yeah, nothing really out of the norm.
Peanut butter and jelly, the world's most perfect post-workout or pre-workout or anything like that. Unless you're allergic to peanuts, then of course,
Right.
So vet 2, we have something more up our alley, and it almost like a playing field leveler too, because just because guys are big doesn't mean they're going to put up big weights or be able to get through the first part and then lead them to the big weights. So that was great to see. It started off with a 3-minute AMRAP of 2 hang cleans and then 1 shouldered overhead at 155 for you guys. And you could trade off however you want. So Mike could do 3 iterations of that complex, drop it, then Miguel picks it up and does 1 or 2, which I saw a lot of teams do different kinds of strategies where maybe they're more, CrossFit-y, fitter type person did do 2 or 3 complexes in a row before dropping it. And then their heavy hitter did 1, just to give them a break and contribute. Going into that part, and then after that, you guys had 6 minutes to go heavy on the complex. So build up from 155 to a heavier weight. For the AMRAP part, did you guys know going in, like, all right, I'm going to do 2, you do 1, then you do 2, then I do 1? Like, how did you guys plan to break that up?
I think the first time we semi-tested it, we tested it after the LSKD workout that we did that day. And we were kind of building up, and I think we had already discussed that most likely I would be doing 2 and then Mike can do 1. And then even that day, I think we kind of spoke about it, and my plan was to do 2 until I can't and then do 1. Overall, I would say we executed that one as well as I could have expected. We got 17 reps, so I think I did 10 and Mike did 7, because I did, I think, 4 sets of 2, and then I switched to singles, and then we ended with Mike doing the last one. And yeah, that's exactly how I wanted that to go, because I know that I can cycle pretty fast. It's just that I think like a size thing, like I can't do that forever.
Yeah.
So I think it was good for me to start off with 2s, because I was thinking maybe like, oh, I'll do singles so that we can transition fast. And then if I have to towards the end, I'll do 2. And that probably wouldn't have worked out well at all. Also, like doing 2s allowed me to almost slow it down. Like I didn't have to, Mike would drop the bar and I would take a second or 2 to pick it up, because I know that I can cycle 2 fairly fast. In the video that you took, I was kind of watching, there were 2 other teams kind of on the other lanes, and I could see my cycle time in the 2 that I did compared to like 1.5 or 1 that those other teams did. So I knew that my cycle rate would be fairly fast, but overall, I think that's just like a size endurance type of thing. But yeah, I think that first 3 minutes we executed really well.
When like where you guys lack the size of a bigger person who is going to use their mass to move it, they may not be as fast, and efficient in some of those movements, so they'll burn energy that way. Or I saw some people would bring it down after clean 1 and not not ride the bar down and cycle into the next one. So that pause every time. It's just time you're holding on to it, where that bar could be immediately coming right back up to your shoulders and not be as much of an issue. Just long term, they're just burning out their grip, and just also it's only 3 minutes. So every second is very valuable. So you guys did a really good job of the bar would roll off the shoulders and it's just dip and go again. And it's like it never left. It's just right up there and then immediately going overhead. I think I saw you, Miguel, going up from some clean catches right into the jerk.
Yep.
And Mike, you might have done that too for push presses. Just get it up there on rep 2 and just ride the dip right up into it. That all helps too. So I think maybe that's just more athletic ability and speed versus just the raw brute strength. And so that's why it's a great even playing field workout where it's like everybody can have these different attributes, and it'll, another team that was just brute strong and 155 is just something they can throw around. You're both getting gassed metabolically, but you guys are using speed, precision, and they're just using raw strength, and it evens out like 16-17 or 17-17.
Right.
So I thought that was a really cool workout. I think 3 minutes was just enough. Any less, not enough time. Any more, too much time now. Now everyone's really, you're just burning out the field. So 3 minutes was pretty perfect. And you guys feel like you maximized the 3 minutes as much as you'd want? Or would you have liked 20? Did you have 20 in your head?
No, I don't think we had a number in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And as we move on to that build up, I think doing any more reps would have just been a little bit more detrimental to overall total or take away from as heavy as we could have gone. Because I was already feeling it. I ended up hitting a weight that was lighter than I expected. But I think it was just the taxing from the 3 minutes. I think 3 minutes was perfect amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good because I feel like I would have been a little too tired because I was doing push press. So I feel like it would have been kind of bad.
What made you choose push press, Mike? I know. I mean, the split jerk's slower. Is it just the back with the push jerks dropping down, or?
Yeah, like the push jerk would have hurt my back. I feel like so I just did push press until I felt like I couldn't do it anymore, and then I did the split.
Okay. Hey, that works. But I mean, push press, it's fast. It might be faster in some ways for some people than the push jerk, but that it's just more upper body pressing. So it's like risk reward type of thing.
Yeah, it didn't feel that bad, to be honest, like shoulder wise. I feel like I do it often anyway, so I feel like I didn't get as fatigued. Yeah, but the last one, it was, I think it was like 215.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. So
for the heavy.
Yeah.
So on the heavies, were those the exact jumps you guys were planning for, or did you just start adding weight and be like, all right, let's just take this one, or I need to go a little bit lighter after doing that 3 minutes?
The weights on the bar, I think, were exactly as we had planned to go. I knew that we would for sure be able to go 185 next. I was going back and forth on if I would take 185. It was more based on how I felt after. But yeah, we loaded 185. And also what actually made me go for it first is Mike started off most of the workouts other than the first one. So I think the plan was for us to load it up and then have Mike go first. But after it was loaded, I saw that he hadn't walked up to the bar yet. And then I kind of went, okay, I probably need to take this because there is a chance that I'm not ready for heavier weights. So I picked it up and I went for it. It was for sure my worst one, that 185. I kind of took the jerk for a walk. So I'm glad that I went for it. But yeah, I definitely needed a kind of like a tester before building up because my grip was taxed. Like I could feel it in my forearms that after doing so many of those that I kind of used it up. So I was glad that I was able to hit 185. And then we went 185, 205, 215, and then we loaded up 230 as well.
Yeah, that first one when you walked it forward, so you guys are in a, I don't know how big it was. Let's just say it's a 10 by 10 box.
Yeah.
And so you started at near one end and then walked it all the way to the far line where the spectators were. And that's when I started yelling to push it back, to drive it back more. I don't know how much you guys could hear of all the yelling from the sideline because the music was right there, but everybody was screaming all kinds of different things at you guys. Could you guys hear?
No, I feel like I blocked everything out. I don't remember like anything except the workout.
No, I could definitely hear, but I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I know it's hard. Like, yes, I didn't mean to do that. Thanks.
Now you got 7 people like, you need to do it better.
But yeah, then I saw when Mike hit 185. Mike, if you want to talk more about it after, but I saw the way that he hit 185, and I almost immediately in my head I went, oh, Mike might hit a heavier weight than I will, because right now I'm like gone. But for him, it was super easy.
Yeah, I don't know.
You hit more complexes though, so you had already done more reps. Coming in.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt light. I don't know. You like even the hang felt super light. I don't know what was going on. It felt good though. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Gummy bears.
Something. It was. I don't know. I was just having fun, I think.
And I think so. You hit 185. We loaded 205, and I think that's when I went, "Are you good to go?" Because like I was like doubled over after the clips too. I was having trouble with the clips. But I was like still doubled over, and I looked up at you and you were like standing tall, and I was like, "Are you ready?" And you were like, "Yeah." And I was like, Go ahead."
Yeah, that felt good. And then 230 almost. It was like so close, but I had to drop it.
So yeah, my grip was gone. I was doing like mid thigh and doing full cleans. So yeah, my grip was going. At 215, I hit the first one at a mid thigh, and as I brought it down, I felt it in my hands, and I felt my grip, and I knew that if I went from the mid thigh or like a higher hang, that it would come out of my hands. So I had to opt for a low hang, like bringing it down below the knees. I was like, this feels insane, but I was able to get that clean. And watching that video back too, you can kind of see the difference in how straight I was when I went to the low hang. So like as I was going mid thigh, I was definitely not jumping forward, but it was definitely further forward. When I went low hang, it was definitely in that straighter line, and then the jerk was fine. But yeah, I knew once we hit that, I knew that 225 kind of didn't make any sense because it wouldn't be that much of a difference between that and 230. And I figured
everybody's going to go for that.
Right. If other people are going 225, we might as well take the shot to jump that. But after loading that, my only go at it, but the first clean I had to do low hang. So I figured that the second one I wasn't going to be able to get. And as I came up with it, I knew that it wasn't going up, so wasn't able to make the second clean. But Mike got a little bit closer.
And they had already said that it wasn't allowed to do the high hang clean the way that we ultimately would have wanted it, with arms a little more bent and just kind of dip and flip it up. The low hang was in parameters, right? Start off the floor and bring it down to wherever you need to.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess if you're good at it, it could be an advantage, but otherwise it's just, more range of motion and more time holding onto the bar. I was surprised when it went down there because I didn't know what was happening, because you had just before that been going so high and all of a sudden we're going down, and then I'm filming it. I'm like, is that legal? And then I looked at the judge. Okay, all right. She's not saying anything. So he's not saying anything. So we're good. We're good to go. Overall,
that judge was great, by the way. Like the first judge we had for the first two events was perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we didn't see him again. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, they kind of had him floating around after the second event. But yeah, I think I was glad that we both ended at the same weight. I did kind of want that one to be my hero workout, you know, to like not get carried the entire time. But yeah, I think get us a couple more reps in that first area and then still be able to hit 215. Because I mean, ideally, I would have loved to hit like a 230, but 245 for sure would have been. Because I mean, when we tested it as well, I wasn't able to get the jerk at 245, and that's like a coming up, what, like 90 something percent of like my jerk max anyway. So that would have been tough to get on game day as well. So yeah, I think that we executed that one really well.
Was there any part of it where you're going through it and just event one took a little bit of gas out of the tank, where like you had your plan, or we're fully reset? Event one had no effect. All right.
Event one was warming up the day, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I feel like we both felt horrible in the morning as well. Like both of our stomachs were just. Bleh.
Did you guys warm up? Like, how did you Because the gym was over there, so I imagine you checked in and then went down towards the field.
They had, I think, one or two warm-up rowers and a smattering of kettlebells. So we did some pulls, some lunges. I went with a lighter kettlebell weight for the lunges. But we got there, we were one of the earlier teams there. So we were able to kind of touch that stuff before everybody else got there. But yeah, unless it's like spike your heart rate before, warming up for that first one is just like, it is what it is, in my opinion. I think also just for CrossFit events, I'm pretty good at just like, say 3, 2, 1, go, and I'll turn it on. Because it's not as maximal in terms of like weight. So I can pretty much come into most CrossFit workouts pretty cold if I needed to. So I wasn't too concerned with that.
And especially for you, starting the row, so it's like you're just on the machine. Just are we warming up or are we working out? Yes and yes. You know, it started off as one and ended as the other. Cool. So for that second event, I believe Chris hit 215 too.
Yeah.
And Schaff hit 275, went for 300, got the first clean, missed the second clean. So just for a little update on the Weeniesauruses and how they did. And then they also did well on event one. So they didn't have any concerns, I think, with that one, as far as I know. So we're 2 events in, and then there's the finale. So for the finale, we have Shark Bite. And now you guys were the intermediate. So I want to make sure I read the right one, because there was some confusion on how many reps for some things. And I'm looking back and forth between RX and that. So for the intermediate and masters, this workout was 4 time, 13-minute time cap, 20 deadlifts at 245 for you guys, 40 pull-ups, 60 burpees over the bar, 100 double unders, 60 burpees over the bar, 40 pull-ups, 20 deadlifts. So just a sprint all the way through, and the bar facing burpees, they had a line under the barbell. So you had to be, your body perfectly on that line. And then you can jump over it any way you want to. These are just regular pull-ups, chin over the bar, do them any way that you want, butterfly, kip, strict. And deadlifts are deadlifts, double unders are double unders. And then, so this is the finale workout. First, how do you feel like you did overall on it before we get into the the weeds on.
I think without that workout, I never do another CrossFit competition ever again.
Oh my gosh.
Genuinely, because even before we talked about it, it just wasn't to me enough of a mix of like not skill, but like skill work for me to think that I have much of a shot. But this event, I mean, we had tested it and we saw where we were compared to Chris and Schaff, and it was a workout that I knew that both of us could just move the entire time. And I know that other teams wouldn't be able to move the entire time. So I knew that we were good on this one. It was great that this was the last one, because anxiety in terms of like, will I be able to do this, was kind of gone. It was more just like, okay, this is the last one, so we're going to go hard. But I was pretty confident going into this one. I wasn't necessarily sure how we would be in the entire field, but I was confident in our ability to do well.
Yeah, I mean, there's the weight's not super heavy for you guys, and the mix of movements allows you guys to really separate yourself from the other intermediate teams that are out there, where so this is where they had an advantage because they're bigger guys on the lunging and the rowing and stuff. Well, now it's like, all right, well, Mike's just going to be busting out pull-ups. Miguel's going to be busting out double unders, and they're both going to go crazy hard on the burpees at a pace that I don't think very many other people were able to match. I mean, there was a couple RX teams, and there was a scaled team, too, which actually, this intermediate masters was intermediate. Okay. I don't even see a scaled listing for this. Okay, it's after. All right, I do see scaled. So that is a little bit of confusion on like who's scaled, who's master, who's intermediate. And I think Chris said there was one RX team that registered late and they were in scaled, so they weren't intermediate with you guys. So there were a couple scatterings of teams all around that had attributes to like go as fast as you guys were. Maybe their reps were different, but sub 10 is the clear goal, I think, just looking at it, right? If it's a 13-minute time cap. And you guys did that. You guys were like, what, 9 something?
We were, well, I don't know exactly, but our score was 930. I don't know if the goal was sub 10. With a 13-minute time cap, I just didn't want to get time capped because, again, when we tested it, I think we were done by maybe 10:30 something.
Maybe closer to a.
Yeah, and then Schaff and Chris did get capped when we tested it the first time. So my goal was to be around the same-ish, and I knew that would give us a good spot in the overall rankings. But I think other than like our first point of confusion, there were no points of like real stopping, maybe towards the end where just like you're gassed, but give yourself a little bit of recovery and then get right on to what we were doing. Again, I think executed really well. Our burpees did slow down, but we never got to either of us like slog burpees.
No.
I think they were all efficient, even at our slowest. Our slowest, I think, was still probably faster than some people were able to top out at.
I agree.
You could see early on looking around the room, some people started those burpees and immediately went to stepping. And it's like, that's a wrap right there. That might be what causes you not to finish, in the end. And you guys kept consistent, like low jumps, especially Miguel. You were low and fast. You were not standing up hardly at all on those burpees.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning when you were flying.
Do you guys remember the movie Hardcore Henry? That was shot fully in like first person.
Yep.
I've never like felt that. Even like when you watch like first person stuff, you're like, life doesn't always like feel like that. But I think the speed and the movement and the turning made it feel like that for me, where I was like, I only saw a white line in barbell. Like my view didn't change at all. I like there was nothing in front, like because my eyes were just down the entire time, and it was just spin, 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 spin. But yeah, me and Mike were talking because I was telling him to slow down, and then I went faster. But again, burpees are interesting. Like how you feel doing them versus how it looks on the outside is very different. Because like
And
you don't see that rotation as much. But yeah, those felt like burpees, but not bad.
well, and you guys were going so fast, especially you, Miguel, that like I couldn't get like a photo of it. You know, like the one like photo I have, it's like you blurred. You know, because the even when I was just holding it down or tapping really quickly throughout the entire sequence of your burpee, I couldn't get like a solid like there's a frame of Miguel in this one moment. Like you're just blurred. You know, moving that fast. And I had another thing I was going to say about the burpees. I guess I'll the people kind of are around you. Some of those people would stand all the way up and then jump over.
Right.
And I was just so surprised that, especially in the beginning, like how low to the ground you were the whole time, and you were lower than Mike was on a lot of those. Like,
Yeah.
And then it started to make me think. I'm like, why is Mike standing up so much? And it's like he's not. He's not. It's just Miguel is like barely leaving the floor and like getting just over the bar. Is that how you practice them, or you just picked it up a notch?
That's just how I do them. We had a Saturday workout that had burpees over the bar. And I can't remember the full workout, but me and Mike were talking about it because I knew that my bar facing burpees were fast, but doing them in that workout that Saturday, they didn't feel that smooth. Like they felt more like more work. And during that workout, they felt like how they used to feel for me. Um, but yeah, we Schaff and Chris were testing them. We're testing that workout or something similar. And Chris was doing burpees over the bar, and one he was kind of doing that the slant, if you know what I mean, where it's like you're not fully perpendicular to the bar, but you are turning around. So you're kind of, if the bar is here, you're kind of at an angle going at it. So sometimes that counts, but I told him like, I don't even think that that's faster. And two, they might not allow that. And we saw that when they brought out the line that wouldn't have worked anyway. So I was kind of showing him that like rotation of like, start your spin in the air. It doesn't matter how you land though, because you can also turn as you're dropping. And he started to do those, and I think that helped him a lot as well. But that's just always how I've done them. And it didn't tax my back enough. I think that's the only detriment to doing those is if you're that low, you're bent over for a long time. But especially when you're breaking them up with a partner, I think that gives you enough time to kind of recover a little bit.
Yeah. And it's not too many deadlifts, 20 each over the course of the whole thing. I guess maybe that could be a problem if it was way more deadlifts. Actually, was it 20 deadlifts, or am I in the wrong?
Yeah, it was 20.
Yeah.
Okay, 20. RX had to do 25. Okay. Yep, 20.
Yeah.
And now, and I did notice this happened to you guys maybe like a couple times, and then Chris and Schaff, and then a lot of other people, where it's like partners weren't like people were getting rocked. So it's like when it was time to do like the deadlifts, the partner wasn't over at the next station. They were like, I'm dying right now. And then your partner had to be like, you got to start, So I did see a lot of that. So I think it's a great workout because it broke up teams in that way. I saw a lot of people finish their set of burpees and then like slow walk forward, and their partner is barreling over the bar trying to flip and their feet almost hit. and it's just because like they're not even thinking about their partner anymore.
Yeah.
Like, so I really like that, where it's like it caused a lot of not confusion. It just wrecked everybody, that they couldn't even focus on their team aspect of it. Like, oh, I'm done with the burpees, I should get over there to my jump rope and be ready to go, or the next station. They were just completely rocked, and then it forced you to have to tell your partner, you got to get going on those double unders.
Yeah, Mike, I don't know how you felt, but overall, I would say that I liked this workout the most because it felt the most like a team workout. Like this was, you can break it up however you like, and it's long. So you can even have a game plan, but that game plan is going to change, and you have to be watching your partner to know when to go. And again, I think, like you said, some teams, like their transitions were very slow. Like I would see people in the middle of the burpees, not even like, oh, my partner's going to finish up the burpees and then something changed. Like in the middle of the burpees, they'd finish their set and they walk so far away. And when their partner's done, they have to walk so far to get back to the bar and start going. Even like if like we weren't going for round numbers, as soon as someone would stop the burpees, the next person would be right back on it. And I think that saved us a lot of time as well.
Yeah, I try to stay close mainly for the burpees just because of that, because I didn't know how many you were gonna like do. So I was like, okay, so once he stops, I'm just gonna go and then do as many as I can, and then just switch and switch and switch. Yeah, I think that was the most fun of the workouts. I agree.
And did so you guys weren't doing strict sets on the burpees? So it's just kind of go until you need to stop.
When we first started, I think the plan was like 15 and 10. So I did 15, and then Miguel did 10, and then
So is that what potentially led to some confusion on the number of reps for the burpees? Because and like reading it now, like I thought it was supposed to be 40 burpees, but I guess 60 was what it was all the time. But you guys thought you hit 60?
There were, I think, also just rep schemes overall of all the workouts. Maybe like those 40 lunges also maybe threw us off. Like, but we had in our head like different rep schemes. So it was 40 burpees, if that was what we were thinking, 15, 10, 15, 10, and then we're done. Because it was also supposed to be Mike starting off on the double unders and then me finishing it up wherever he stopped. But yeah, that I will say that that's probably on me mostly, because I had it in my head and I was not also no cell service, no internet. I could not even pull these workouts up. So that as well.
How did I have it? I'm here posting videos and stuff, and
I don't know.
I don't know how my internet was working.
Literally, I couldn't even like text. I had like nothing.
No. Everything was sending as a text message if it was sending. But yeah, T-Mobile. I would say
Mobile.
that's on me messing up the rep schemes. But overall, again, I think like we recovered well, other than that initial confusion. I think that 60 burpees, in fact, works more in our favor. Because after we got past the snafu and we got to the double unders, I think I did probably like 54. And then I got it over to Mike, and you tripped up a couple times, and I wasn't gonna pick up my rope because I was like, I don't want to insult him. And then like,
I
think you started again and like tripped after 2, and then I picked up my rope, and then you went again and I think tripped up, and we both looked at each other, and I was like, okay, that's fine. And then I started going again. But yeah, after the double unders. Not to say that I got a second wind, but after the double unders, if you remember, I was looking around as I was finishing them.
Yeah.
I think I almost did a full 360 to like see where other teams were at as I was jumping, and there was another team on the double unders, but I knew like they can't mess with us on that second set of burpees. Like there are very few teams. There are very few people as individuals that I think can do burpees over the bar faster than me and Mike. So like RX or scaled, I think like that movement specifically, I think like you have 2 of the fastest people doing them. So I felt confidence going into that second set, especially this time knowing that it's 60 and just being like, all right, we're just gonna go.
Yeah.
Forget
And
reps. I think I stayed consistent pretty much with like tens, but it didn't matter. Like we were both going. As soon as I felt myself like slowing down, I was like, all right, this will be my last one. Mike was right on it, and then yeah, we went through.
I think if you guys had to do the RX rep scheme, I think this workout is still a really good workout for you. Like it's still, because it would
Yeah.
have just gone to 75 burpees, which would be another 30 overall, which is okay, like 15 more for both of you, which is like not at this point we're in it,
Yeah.
I don't think that would have held you back. It's 50 pull-ups instead of 40 pull-ups. Again, I don't think that hurts you guys. It's another 25 double unders. The deadlifts, you add 5 more reps on each end, so 10 more total. But it does jump 30 pounds to 275. But also, I don't know. I don't think that, I think you guys are still getting done, around the 10-minute mark. Maybe with the RX rep scheme, it turns into an 11 something, maybe.
Yeah. And I think that's just like an approach more cautiously thing. I think if we have more reps, we just don't go as hard because we don't want to fail, right? But yeah, I think the burpees as well, like even that first snafu of thinking it's 40, we did lose some time in being like, wait, what's going on? But I think because we go hard in that first 40, the last 20 is like, all right, we just got to go. If we know it's 60, maybe we go a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Because we know it's 60. But yeah.
Now I feel slightly bad about counting out loud the burpees for the second set, just because I had thought that it was supposed to be 40 or something. So I was like, I'm trying to like, and I had no idea what the workout was because like it's not written down anywhere, and so I'm just going off of Miguel, and like it's one of those things where like, all right, Miguel's mad potentially, and there's this confusion. I'm mad. I'm not mad, but I'm just like I'm in it, and like all right, I'm gonna make sure that like all right, I'm gonna count now because I thought that like they were making you do extra burpees or something like that. Something was happening. So then I just count, and then we get the 40, and I just keep going like, all right, 59, 60, and then that was it. So that's why I started counting, just to like, because also, everything happens. Thank you for volunteering and whatnot. We were noticing on the side that the judge was looking around the room while you guys were doing burpees. So there was a concern from us in the peanut gallery that you guys are going so fast that not all the reps are being counted too, which is why I started counting out loud. Like, all right, now if you look away, at least it's still 10, 11, so yeah, all right. There was confusion in 3 points. Like there's you guys, there's the judge, there's the peanut gallery, and we're the most removed from it. Right. But also us watching all of you and seeing you guys reacting to the situation, and then also seeing what we would interpret as the judge not paying attention to what you guys are doing. Now that it just create a whole thing.
And I think like Mike was saying, like we really liked our judge because we had the same judge for 1 and 2. And we got another judge for event 3. And I think that played into it. Like not just that judge specifically that we got. I think because we changed judges, it felt like, oh, what if something goes wrong now? Like we've built a rapport with one judge. Yeah. Because if he told us 60, like I think immediately I would have been like, oh, I messed up. But because it was someone new, I was like, I hope this isn't wrong. Yeah. Like I hope this doesn't throw something off. But again, like that second set, I'm totally fine doing 60 because if it is wrong, we just doubled our reps, right? So it's like, cool. Yeah, they will have to change this at the end. And we were still flying. Like being able to look around and being like, okay, either way, then they got to give us like a minute back at least.
What's Miguel's I'd like to speak to the manager spiel. If after that we find out it was indeed 40 burpees, what's happening? Where are you going?
One, I would have found a mic. I would have. And 2, I would have talked so much shit because I would have been like, we did
Yeah.
40 extra burpees and we still beat most of you. But yeah, I think that was another confidence booster of like, hey, we're still in this. Even if it is wrong, we're still going. But yeah, I think, yeah, even breaking things up, I liked the way that we did it. I lost my grip at the last set of deadlifts, but again, I knew that we were in a good spot. But yeah, overall, I am biased because that's the one that we did the best at, but I'm like, this is the most CrossFit workout of the bunch.
Well,
yeah, I agree.
it is.
I
Yeah.
had fun with the second one though. The second one was like a lot of fun, and then the third one was more fun. But I don't know. I feel like if I had to pick, I feel like I had more fun with the second one because I didn't feel like I was going to do that well with it.
Yeah, and your lifts look so strong in that one, like beautiful vertical pulls on the clean and everything. Strong leg drives.
I can't help that.
Yeah, it's built in. It's built in.
I will say, even watching Schaff and Chris go on that second event, if we're hopping back, it's one of those things of just like, no matter what it is, though, I feel like people love watching people from our gym do things because I feel like we always look good.
Yeah.
No matter how we feel, no matter if it's beyond or like below our expectations, I think like people are always impressed by watching us. And I take that as a point of pride of if I had to take anything, like people are impressed when they see us do stuff.
And that's the same thing at like weightlifting meets and stuff like that. You know, there's a distinct look to like how our teams perform, you know, like, and it's, you know, everybody did a really good job, but you look around the fields on all the heats and you're like, I wonder if that's how they do that all the time. Or I want like you see things that like if you rolled into class and like I saw you, I'm like, Miguel, why are you rolling like this? Like we gotta gotta fix this, you know. Or why are you swinging the kettlebell that way? It's like, you know, it's just different everywhere you go. Every gym has a different culture. Ours just happens to be really, really rooted in the technique aspect of it. And we really take it to heart. That doesn't mean we don't get down and go fast, but we really make sure we have that first. And we do get people that want to bypass that all the time. And we just don't allow it. It's just not the standard in what we do, you know. And that's how you coach your classes too. You know, we're just very, we do a lot of drilling, you know. And like I told you guys, I'll get messages from people who want to do stuff, just lessons or something. And they're like, I just don't feel like there's a lot of time where I'm at on spending with technique. And it's kind of funny. It's like people do want that, you know, but you have to have a good balance of it as well. So yeah, interesting.
And a couple more comments on that third event. The pull-ups were for us not a big deal, right? I decided going into it that I would only do kipping pull-ups. Like I have butterfly pull-ups, but they're hit or miss, right? And I would say I'm a proficient, both of me and Mike are proficient pull-up people. But like for those, we were able to fly through those. Like you give us 20 more reps on those. Maybe we break it up differently, but our rep speed was so fast also. And we got to see some later heats. And then you go into the scale division where some people are still doing pull-ups and they're doing butterfly, but extremely slow butterfly. And I can't imagine like even just a strategy wise going like, is that a choice or can you only do butterfly and you can't kip?
Yeah.
Because there's no way that you're thinking that the way that you're doing them right now is faster than an efficient kip. And yeah, just that too of like, you got to use the most proficient way, even if, and like just having them in your pocket still. Like if we are just doing if we're going like a set of 20 or like we're doing Fran, I'll probably start off with butterfly. And then if I have to kip, I will. But knowing this, like the stakes of it all, knowing that I have kipping in my back pocket really helped. And I feel like some people kind of leave certain skills behind because they just want to move on to that next one.
Yeah. The pull-ups was an interesting part of this workout. Like watching you guys do the pull-ups and then watching like Lou and Riley do the pull-ups in the heat before, it almost like didn't seem like it was a part of the workout. Like it was like, oh, there's like a minute rest, and then now we're right back to double unders and burpees, like, and just horsing through it. Like that was like, and the deadlifts at the end. So the deadlifts seemed more substantial than the pull-ups. They almost just seemed like they were there. And I don't know if maybe 50 for the inner or 40. See, it's hard because you guys are skewing it. Like 40 is probably good for the intermediate versus 50. Like those extra 10 would be now probably a reason why some of those teams wouldn't finish if they were just barely finishing. But for you guys, not a big deal. It would have just probably just been more rest, I guess.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you go to Schaff and Chris, who overall did a lot better than the time that we tested it, but their pull-ups versus our pull-ups as well.
Yeah.
Where theirs, I guess you could say, like, if you had to grade each of the movements in terms of like how me and Mike do them as intermediate or RX, I would say that 1, our burpee speed, and 2, our pull-ups are probably more towards RX, where Chris and Schaff, I would say, are like true intermediate in both of those as well.
Yeah.
So like you could see how the pull-ups, that was probably the burpees as well, but like pull-ups mostly, I would say, were like the biggest time difference between us and them, in the way that they had to break it up in multiple sets of each person, where me and Mike just went 1 and then 2 and then they were done. But more intermediate teams, I think, have to break it up that way as well.
Definitely. Yeah, and Chris was doing chest to bar pull-ups, so he was covering a little bit extra range of motion, But it's funny. It's like we're talking about like this one felt the most CrossFit, and like even though the pull-up was like, all right, what's it doing in here? For some teams, it might be a little bit of rest. For other teams, now that's too many reps. It was just so interesting to see how that movement brought so much out of, like, you could tell training flaws by this one movement for people that were coming from multiple different gyms versus like, all right, a burpee over the bar, like its capacity, fall down, jump over it. But the pull-ups exposed. So I wonder if like over like there's that might have been the top movement that exposed flaws on everything. Like even the weights, you could just do whatever, you can choose the lunging, not too much, the rowing, it's all capacity, or are you a big guy or a little guy? But the pull-up, if you just draw a line back to classic CrossFit, it's the one that's like, it's in the throne room of classic CrossFit. It's the pull-up, and there it is exposing everybody, either their strengths or weaknesses in a way that nothing else was. So it was very cool to see that. And there was one athlete from Binghamton, I believe she goes to GSR, and she was at the Sona competition back in May. She was purposely doing butterflies and then would switch mid-set to kipping. So like it's like, and like I could tell like she was doing it multiple times. It's like that's part of her plan. And I thought that was cool. Like she's good at both of them. She was just using one to start her set and go fast. And then instead of coming off the bar, had the skill and technique to stay and just switch to kipping, which is, I think that's a really cool thing, because some people will tell you, oh, I have to do it. I can only do it this one way. It's like, well, you don't have the skill you don't have all these tools in your back pocket. So she clearly had weapons in her back pocket that she just bust out mid-set. So I thought that was really, really cool. And then there's, it's like the classic thing with like PVC pipe versus barbell on like the lifts. Oh, well, I have to have weight in order for me to do it correctly. Well, then you can't do it correctly. Like you can't move your body. So it's like let's say if not that he's saying this, but let's say if Chris is like, well, I can only do them chest bar pull up. Well, then that's a hole in your pull up gymnastics game that you can only do it this one way. So it was just cool to see that across the board. And then the people, like you said, that were butterflying and not getting the range of motion standard, but that when they're training in the gym, they always default to butterfly. They never do the other skills. And you can see some people that are maybe in the intermediate division that it's like, ooh, you don't scale enough. You should be scaling more. And I've had this conversation with people at our gym. Celestino, good example. I've been trying to encourage him to do more scaling on the gymnastics because he has toes to bar. But if we want to build up his toes to bar even more, he needs to go back to scaling and like do sets of 20 kipping straight leg raises, which aren't a walk in the park. Those are really hard. But he can do toes to bar, and he can also, even though he's going RX, make the workout easier in training by just doing sets of 2 or 3 or whatever, still accomplishing the RX standard. But instead of staying on the bar, it'd be harder for him to do 20 straight leg raises in a row. So it's like you just see the flaws in people's training at these competitions. And again, the pull-up was the one that was like, all right, I think I know what you need to do when you go back to the gym. Whether you'll do it or not is a whole another topic. Do you guys find anything yourselves that you're like, oh, I need to do more? I need to do more of this. Like, all right, like I need to do more strict and kipping. I need to save butterfly for the open type of a deal.
I don't know. Maybe work on butterfly because I don't have butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do that, but other than that, I don't really think so.
I'm wondering how butterfly would work with your.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I'd be able to do it. Yeah, no, I can. I feel like I've practiced it with Shop before, and I can do it somewhat. It just doesn't feel like it is faster.
I think we need to not look at butterfly as this huge arc that people get, on the ends, like where if the pull-up bar is here, you have this giant circle of range of motion around it, and that's the butterfly. It should still be compact, like a smushed oval. So I think if you had I think your back limitation would force you to do it the right efficient way, and you could actually probably have very powerful butterfly pull-ups.
Yeah, I think so. Because when I just don't want to kip, I kind of just like throw my legs a little bit and do basically a strict pull-up anyway.
Yeah. So we should start working on it, on at least like how to like the little rocks. Like it just has to start small. I don't think it'd be a bad thing for you if it's okay for your back. And it's funny. It's like you have like this superpower that forces you to do it the right way, and you already have the baseline of strength and skill that it'd be good. It's just like when we were talking about your muscle ups the other day. Oh boy, Miguel.
Yeah.
He's just arming everything. And there's no that. And then as soon as I got him to actually transition through instead of just tricep extending all the way up, it was better, right, Mike?
Yeah, it was better. It felt better. Oh, I practiced the strict ones too. That's what I've been doing. I've been practicing strict muscle up.
Yeah. You have one, right? Strict muscle up?
Yeah, I did. I think I did like 10 rounds, like one strict, and then I did like 5 dips, come down, do another strict, and then repeat.
Okay. I thought you were about to say, yeah, I did 10 strict miles, but all right, let's just end.
That's what you said to get to. So I'm trying to get to that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. Like when you're already blessed with able to do the one of the hardest things for people for so many reps and whatnot, now what you need to do is just make it harder with more virtuous movement, and you'll just even be better. It's like, all right, now they're like, yeah, do 15 of them in a row. And you're like, well, I got up to being able to do 10 strict muscle ups and I already had muscle ups. That 15, you're just going to burn through them. And then now it's just about being efficient with like those little things that you're doing 15 muscle ups in a row doesn't take away from the next thing that you have to go do.
Yeah.
Back to the competition. What was you're like, so obviously there should be a lot of communication during a team competition between partners. What was anyone like directing each workout? Was it just unspoken and moving by feel? It didn't seem like you guys were talking a whole lot other than like, oh, you go or something like that. Or did you guys talk in advance about how you would communicate?
No, I think again, like the third one was really the most pure team, like partner workout. I think the second one was like, if the bar drops, that's your cue to, that's you. Like, because it's a hang complex. It's like, if I let go of the bar, you're next. Even if I say I'm doing twos, I think I said I dropped, and before you picked it up, I went, I'm switching to singles. I'm not even sure if you heard me,
No,
but right. So either way, it's like I did my one and then I dropped it and then I bent over in to get some recovery. So it's like that's your cue to go. And then we talked about weight jumps as well. But I think we knew we were going 185 to start off. And then yeah, the way that they're the colors of their weights and how they look and all this, and I was like, what are we even at right now? But we went 205 and then 215. So I think that was like, it was kind of like, this is what we're doing. And it made sense. I think the only thing was like, all right, for the last one, let's add those little green 2.5s and make it 230. But yeah, the last one, communication, there were the points of like at the deadlift when Mike was still standing there and I was like, get ready. Like,
yeah,
get away from me. And then like the thing with the double unders where I was finishing them off and I had no clue what number I was at, and Mike didn't either. But it was kind of just like, yeah, get ready for the next thing, whatever that next thing is. And then he was about to deadlift and I was like, no, burpees. But yeah, I think other than that, like we said before, it was like, if somebody's done with the burpees, you go. And again, like we stay so low if we're going over the bar that if you end yours with like a standing up jump, that's that other person's cue to get going. So yeah, we didn't need like too much of like talking. And again, it's so loud that like, what can you really hear?
And time is of the essence, and you're breathing heavy and you're dying inside.
Yeah, pretty.
I didn't see very many teams talking too much. I did see a lot of like people having to yell, "You go," or "No, it's you," or something like that. Yeah. That was like the extent of it. So it's good that you guys had like these unspoken just movements. Like if I'm standing tall, that means it's you. If I dropped it, that means it's you. And that kind of just like takes away the need to have to say anything or the energy, even though just the mental energy. It's like you just know and react. Versus I saw teams that definitely were doing that, but then I also saw a lot of teams where it's like their partner didn't know where to go next or what to do in this situation.
We also weren't burying each other. I think that's where a lot of miscommunication comes, where it's like you can tell that your partner's dying, take a couple more reps. Whereas you could see some teams where like the other partner was like dead on the floor, and then the other partner stops and is like, "Come on," and you're like, "Give them a little bit."
Yeah,
if you can hit a couple
designated
more,
5 reps, you should be doing it now.
Yeah.
Clearly, you got to change up the plan a little bit, or like Shop and Chris, where you accidentally mix up your deadlift count, and Shop ends up doing 15, and he's like, "What is going on? That was not the plan." But yeah, funny stuff.
So sometimes the workout dictates the plan, and the workout in prep and practice is still different than the actual, workout when everything is said and done. Like once you've already done all the other events and you've had the elongation of the day and everything, like you really don't, you can just prep for it, but you really don't know what's going to happen until you get to that second set of burpees. And then you find out, no, we need to change our plan right now. This is not going to work. So it's good to have those unspoken aspects to it. With the plates, they were interesting plates. I don't think I would purchase them myself, but I do like the idea, if I'm getting the idea correctly off the plates. The 10-pound plates were smaller than any of the other plates, which was like confusing. But I also like that in a sense of like, okay, well, they're not meant to be loaded solo, because that's how those plates break a lot. So if you're loading a solo plate, it's a 15-pound or not. And the workouts that would have you load them solo are typically like hang workouts, or something where you're going to do like sumo deadlift high pull, or just something not where you're going to do, like grace with it. So I don't know if that's like the intent behind those plates, to be like, if you're not doing this, you're not putting that on the bar, because it's not regulation size for the other ones. So it was just interesting. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's the purpose behind them. They were speckled in colors, and there were times where I'm like, I don't know what orange means, so I don't know what weight you guys are on.
Yeah.
So they were interesting. With the competition overall, you said you looked around on the last event. Were you guys like aware of, for the other events, what the rest of the fields was doing, or were you just kind of just playing your own game?
No clue. I think even with like the heat setup, and like I sent you like the chart that had like, and you were trying to figure out like, does purple mean? And I was like, I don't even, don't worry about it. Like, I genuinely had no clue who was doing what and in what heat, so I didn't care.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
yeah, makes sense, because also Masters and Intermediate, I think, was mixed. So it's like there wasn't like a way, like looking around, I was like, I don't know. I had no idea where you got, who was in your competition and who out here right now is definitely competing against Mike and Miguel or Schaff. And actually, I knew Schaff and Chris were your competitors. that was it. So looking around, I'm like, all right, well, those guys, they could be intermediate or they could be masters too. So I didn't know. It was hard. It was hard to read the competition that way. And I also didn't have the link for the leaderboard until later. But even then, it's not like you're going to go around like, all right, there's the team name. And, it's just, it was too much work at that point.
This wasn't to win. Like, I really, this was, again, like, my main goal was for next year, genuinely. My main goal is for next year, we have more teams from Albany CrossFit. That was really it. And yeah, just to say, I said it earlier in the year that I wanted to do a CrossFit competition. I didn't want to do it as much as when it came up, but it came up and we signed up and we did it. So overall, happy that we did it. It was cool. We looked cool. We'll see when the billions of photos that I think is it Stan?
Yes.
The 1 billion photos that he takes. So we'll probably get some cool shots there too. But that's overall.
Yeah, it's been a year of doing stuff, and that was a goal that you set out earlier in the year. And I do think it's funny how you texted Mike and be like, I signed us up. But then the closer we got, the more you were like, I'm over it already. I
was so annoyed. I was so mad.
That your mood changed.
It was fun. It was fun.
But the event order went perfectly. But I'll let Mike talk because I think he's got a few more competitions that he's going to sign up for. But
what? Ooh. Like what? What am I signing up for?
The Rumble?
Yep.
What is that one? Is that 4s? Is that two male, 2 female?
Yep. It was nice that Maria, Leone, all the Humes came up to watch. Pat was there. They had to. So we had a good representation and showing, from the gym. So and hopefully that will inspire them to do stuff, and I do think it's good to do them without the expectation of winning. It's like get yourself experience. It's
Yeah.
like okay, yeah, you hadn't done Miguel a CrossFit competition since 2019. All right,
2018.
so 2018. So it's which actually I saw the volunteer photo for Fall Face Off 2019. There you were.
Yeah.
You were in there. So it's just do stuff and get better. Like go out to one of those things, find the hole because it'll expose the holes in your training,
Yeah.
and then go back to training and do that better, and then keep progressing. And it's like, and it's not so much in our gym, a little bit in our gym sometimes. What we are doing in class is not a competition; it is training. So we should treat it like that. Like, well, what are the standards? Can I do this? Can I do that? No one. I mean, we do care. Do it the right. Do it the right way. Well, my score. It's like, yeah, no one cares that you did this RX or what. It's like, get better. It's like I was having a conversation with Nyla the other day about the box jump overs in the running box jump over workout. And I'm like, you should scale it to this so that way what you do today adds to your box jump bank account and makes them better. And every box jump workout that comes up, you should be looking at it in a way of like, how will this workout today make my box jumps better? And then when they pop up in the open, that's different. Now, all right, all of the 10 workouts you did of box jumps leading up to the open, they all hopefully made your box jumps better so that now you can go faster and do this other thing or meet this challenge in the workout. But if you're always hitting the box jumps, I'm like, all right, how can I shave off some time and do the standards, do the competitor way, and I'll do the flip. It's like, all right, that ain't going to help you on competition day. That's just practicing one thing. You should have been working on your landing, your heights, your strengths, you're this, you're that. And every workout's different, so you can work on different things. So I think that's how we got to look at it, and that's how we'll get better at things. What do you guys think about this? Just training, sport.
I agree. I mean, I have to work on a lot of stuff, so.
And now that you're a soon-to-be level 1 trainer, once you take your exam, has taking the level 1 changed, Mike, how you look at things at all?
A little bit, actually. More so how I do stuff. Actually, during the workouts, I'm like, oh, I'm doing this wrong. Yeah, which actually is pretty helpful. So, yeah.
Wrong in what way? Versus you mean not standing up all the way on squats, but now you are standing up all the way on squats?
No, I feel like you can still do that sometimes. You just can't get caught.
It's not wrong, but
no, just movement wise, form, when I do pull-ups, kicking pull-ups, and just get lazy with it. I can tell that I'm being lazy with it instead of just
yeah. So don't get lazy with things. I like
that. Yeah.
In terms of just going back to more of a sports focus, so you felt that the final event was the most CrossFit-y type of event. It is, and I haven't really looked to see what's out there and what people are doing these days. Is this a more common thing where it's all right, no handstand push-ups, no muscle ups, just and they're even doing this in the open a little bit on just making things less complicated, more accessible so people can do it, which might even mean formats that are more like the first event. All right, you go and then I'll go and we're not holding each other back, type of a thing. I don't know. Have things changed?
I wouldn't say so. Last year there were handstand push-ups. I do remember watching that.
Okay.
But I think this is important for competition, right? Where we look at this at the end of it and we're like, yeah, I don't think this event overall was tailored for specialties like me and Mike. Or I don't think it was that evenly based, right? But that's what a CrossFit competition is, I think, also, where it's you get 3 events. They're not all going to be in the same wheelhouse, or you might not be able to weight them perfectly. But that's why you do multiple events, because you do another one and you're like, oh, these all these events were mine. Like all of these were just happened to be my specialties. But again, it's that thing of like you have to sign up for different ones, you have to get exposed. You can't duck out on a competition like once you signed up, because you're already signed up, you spent money, all this. So yeah, I don't know if this is like an overall like things are leading this way per se. I think all competitions, especially when you have different, you have your RX, intermediate, and scaled, you have to do something that translates throughout all of them, similar to like a class workout. But you also, as an event planner, you have to say what makes sense in terms of space and time of setting up and all of this. So yeah, I wouldn't say that it was the best overall for us, but I think it was okay. And with 3 events, you can only do so much. So yeah.
Definitely not saying bad competition, anything like that. Was there anything that you guys like when you did see the events? You're like, boy, it feels like we're a little light here. We're missing a lot of things. Like okay, no snatches per se,
Right.
no wall balls, no toes to bar, but we did do pull ups. It kind of seemed like a lot of the variety was maybe in just one workout. Were there things where you're like, I feel like we could have done that, or things were missing?
Yeah, again, going back to event 1, I would have loved like a dumbbell snatch instead. I think that would have been. Then you can alternate as well.
And I do think that's better than a kettlebell swing. It's just a little bit, maybe dumbbell
even, like,
snatches
kettlebell
and
snatches.
overhead lunges.
Could have did like kettlebell snatches too, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. One guy was doing them. The adaptive athlete. He was essentially doing kettlebell snatches. That was cool. Well, any other overall thoughts on the event and how it went?
I don't think so. I mean, I had a good time. That's all.
Yeah, it was a fun day. Beautiful weather. Glad it wasn't any hotter. Glad it wasn't raining.
Yeah, or if like event 1 was like the second event, that would have been rough. That would have been something.
Yeah. Good placement having event 1 right in the early morning. I do wonder, like behind the scenes, like, well, what was the rain workout? Like if we couldn't go out there, what were we gonna do? Type of deal. Because you could still do the first half of that in the gym. Just the barbell carry now becomes like a question. Or maybe you just turn it into an AMRAP and like, all right, just go through this, no barbell carry, just keep switching on and off. So I do wonder what the rain thing would have been. Because if you have an outdoor event, you have to have a rain backup.
Yeah.
Although I've been to very, very big competitions that didn't have a rain backup. 2013 Beast of the East, all of a sudden it started raining and they're like, we got to make an event right now. And it was a whole thing. It was like a giant delay. A giant delay is like, all right, here's what we're going to do, everybody, type of a deal. So it does happen. But I bet they were more prepared. The giant shark was cool. So
I did like that.
Yeah, in the group photo, we got the which I'm going to post once we get off here, since I know that I'm not putting all the individual events stats in there. That was cool, and it's like, hey, all right, I'm assuming they bought it. I don't know if you can rent one of those, and now it just gets to live in the gym. Why would you want to have a giant shark?
No, I saw them pack it up. So I don't know if they bought it. Like, I saw them put it in a truck like when we were leaving. So I don't know. They must store it somewhere. Yeah,
maybe. I mean, it's like this year it's Jaws themed because of the movie. So it's like, all right, like that thing I would imagine is expensive. It doesn't look like it should be, but it's probably expensive. So maybe they rented it from someone that had one or something.
Maybe. I would just keep that in the gym. I would keep that in the gym somewhere. Yeah.
Me too. Like I would keep it up just all the time. Like, hey, is that a shark in your lap? Yep, it is. It is. We're a fan.
I did say we need a big Kool-Aid man in the gym now.
Yeah, big Kool-Aid man. We got one. He's on the wall though. We should get a cool Mike. we'll start doing CrossFit events again, and we'll get like a Kool-Aid Man suit, and you can wear it. And you can go around like, hey, everybody.
No.
You can take pictures with all the kids and whatnot. It's like 1,000,000 degrees in that suit.
That'd be right. Yeah, and then do an event. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yep. Well, no, I wouldn't do the event. You're just in a Kool-Aid Man suit, just going around, shaking hands. So, cool. Well, great job, guys. Again, it was a great day. Accomplishing goals, stepping outside of comfort zones. The next,
real quick before we wrap up, just because I forgot to say it. Thanks to you for coming and spectating the whole day. I didn't expect you to do that, and that was a long day. And then, everyone who came out, even if it was just for one event or for a couple, thanks for everyone coming by, cheering us on and all that. So, thanks.
Yeah, no, happy to do it. I think that's the first non-Albany CrossFit local event that I've gone out to. And I've never been to that gym. So I was like, well, it's always fun to go to see the other gyms and see like, all right, where are the pull-up bars? Where's the rig and whatnot? And I did enjoy seeing not a spiel bar in sight. It's a constant fight in our gym on, I want to use the spiel bar. The other bar is like, nope, look, this gym doesn't have them. They have one pull-up bar, and it's like you and I have talked about. It doesn't matter. It's like you just need better pull-ups. You just need to hang from something. The back in the day when we had the wall-mounted pull-up bars, those weren't even pull-up bars. Those were metal PVC pipe, like metal, that's what it was, just metal that you were gripping onto. So it's a constant battle on equipment and whatnot. I don't think it matters. I think your movement matters. But so it was cool. Either. Yeah. Level 1 would think that. Level 1 would think that. That's good. And so it was cool to see. It was cool to see all the faces. So like an event like this, it brings the local community together. Whether it's a weightlifting meet or a CrossFit event, you can see people you haven't seen in a while, and so it's always like, oh, what are you up to? What are you doing? And I was talking to Chris Diso, and he was telling me about Mayhem coming to the gym and CrossFit Games and stuff like that. And so it's just cool to see people you haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
So it's fun. I enjoyed it. It was good. And I got a good tip from Jamel, one of Cup of Joe Rodriguez's lifters. He was there. I don't know if you saw him.
Yeah.
He was there, and he gave me the tip. He's like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go get in line for the bathroom, because the line for the bathroom was always really, really big. And he's like, just go to Job Lots next door. No one knows there's a bathroom over there. I'm like, oh my God, that's an amazing idea. So I went to Job Lots, walked all the way to the back, private bathroom, just clear, door open. And then you always have the thought of like, if someone's going to be like, sir, are you a customer? Because I'm clearly wearing CrossFit stuff. And I'm like, I'm just walking to that bathroom. But that was the best tip of the day that I got for the free easy bathroom.
Nice. Hey, I went over there too. So
yeah. Whenever you go to an event, where is the bathroom and can I get to it? It's an important question, And the easiest, once you find an easy bathroom, you feel like you have a secret that not everyone can or is allowed to know. Like when I went to nationals to test for national ref, all the bathrooms were crazy. But up on the weigh-in floor, there was like a private bathroom, like just full of stalls and everything. And I'm like, I feel like it's my bathroom. And I can only tell a couple people, because I don't want the general population to start coming up here, because they're already destroying the other bathrooms. There's lines. But up here, it's a ghost town, because no one needs to come up here. And I'm like, yes, my own private bathroom. It's an important thing. So cool. Mike, any closing thoughts on the event?
No. I'm excited to do another one if they come up, but that's about it.
October 25th, Capital Region Rumble. 2 men, 2 women per team. They've already got the first event rolled out. It's wall balls and some skiing and burpees and hang cleans. And we've got another skier. So we're going to be a skier gym a little bit. Like we got them. So Yeah, there you go.
I've been using it a little bit. I like the skiers.
Yeah, I like it too. I'm glad that we have two of them now. So hey, there you go. There's your next event. What are you doing October 25th?
I don't know.
We'll see
Maybe
if Cat
that.
Fusion Rebel. Yeah.
Maybe that. Yeah.
We got to find you a partner.
We need a few. We need a few people to find.
Well, I mean, all right, Miguel. Eminem. Think about it. Eminem.
I'm not doing it. I'm not
He's
doing
not.
it.
I don't even think he's here. Are you here?
I will be flying to India the next day, so I might not even.
It's
be
perfect.
in
You should just do it.
Yeah,
No,
that is
it'll be
actually
fine.
perfect. Because Chris did it this time.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a
Right.
cross competition. Today he's flying to
tell you what.
Mexico.
I'm not doing
What?
it. So
Why not? Come on. You said that about this one. You can do
but
it.
yeah, good luck to you guys. I think that'll be cool.
We'll find you a partner. I imagine Shop is out too. So maybe you and Chris and
It would literally be perfect.
Yeah, it would
All
be.
right.
All right, we have a team then. We have a team. Tell Sarah Nicole.
Will do.
And I'll tell Chris. He'll do it. Cool. Miguel, any closing thoughts on the whole event? Everything else?
No, we did it. I was telling Jared, we had a joke of him telling me to try harder after event 1. So progressive effort throughout the day.
Yeah.
I think we really turned it up as the day went on. So yeah, overall good.
Yep. That's all you can do, right? Cool. Well, great job, guys. Enjoyed watching it. Enjoyed supporting. Looking forward to the next one. And yeah, thanks for coming on and talking about it.
Yeah.
Miguel, where can people follow you?
Couldn't be Miguel on Instagram.
Mike, where can people follow you?
At Just Mike Stuff on Instagram.
Just Mike Stuff. Yep. And then follow me, James A. McDermott. Follow Albany CrossFit, Albany CrossFit Barbell Club, the Barbell Strikes Back, and we'll see you again very soon. Thanks, guys.